Therefore, to say again, I had the power. A right His Excellency, the able President, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, Eba Bemuno. Who ye Bema, what dear Casanembros and Yashadi? Okoko, James is the form of Vanchame. And Casa TV, must also subscribe to Casa TV. Subscribe, like, share our videos, and also make sure you're going to click on the notification button for more news updates. So, so this is the reason in TIHA a miracle of Aboagye. On TIHA, there no is a miracle of Aboagye. A bishop for in summer, a course where my Ghana must in immoral. Or the enemy woman could see the reason in TIHA miracle of Aboagye. As see and Baba and I media so. Muni me papa mami no. Any me boom you could see Marcia.
At the time he issued that statement, he had not filed anything at all. Indeed, throughout the day he had not filed anything at all. It was only today, towards the close of the day, towards the close for the registry, 1:30 p.m. that he purported to proceed to file the process. So that tells you that you deal with a group of people who, with all respect, do not rely on the facts. They like spinning a lot of inaccuracies in the media. It's almost as if it's a PR battle. The attorney general knew with that there was a lot of pressure on him, public backlash and all, following the unlawful arrest of Hanan, and therefore issued a press statement yesterday that he had filed in the High Court another application for an order seeking the review of the order given to Hanan, when he had not filed anything whatsoever. I find it very, very reprehensible. That is one. Number two, he came up with all kinds of falsehoods. The first being the point that Hanan attempted to withdraw money based on with a court ruling. The point must be made: if a person brings the attention of a bank a ruling given in his favor to the effect that there is no freezing order in place, does that amount to an attempt to withdraw money? How does one withdraw money from one's account? It's not by the issuance of a check or by the signing of some sort of withdrawal note. We challenge the attorney to come up with the evidence supporting the alleged attempt to withdraw funds from Hanan's account. To date, he has not produced evidence. After he has filed his application, he rushed the media as usual. You can see circulating in the media the application that he has filed, and claiming that Hanan sought to more or less throw that into the eyes of the court by producing an appointment with Boots Chemist in the United Kingdom as a basis for his travel. The question I ask is, so what? Was the application made to the court test party? Was the attorney not represented through his deputy who argued? Did he not see, or as you want to say as usual? Was he slumbering? Was he asleep? The application was not in the dark. It was on notice, and he argued. He saw it. He did not even oppose the application, speaking. So how now does he turn around to say that we produce some kind of weak evidence to the court? Whether the evidence was weak or strong, in the court upheld our argument and gave another, and that's the most important thing. So what is left to be done is compliance with the court order. I do not expect the attorney general, who is supposed to be the principal legal advisor to the government, to be the one leading an effort to violate a court order. That is really unbecoming. I mean, that's the lowest any person can get to. And now the attorney general comes to say that the basis on which the court gave the order itself was weak in the view of the attorney general. Did he not argue? I mean, once the order has been given, pursuant to argument by both counsel, it becomes a valid court order. If indeed the attorney general is aggrieved by the issue of the court order, he has to appeal, which he has not. So all this for me is just an attempt to prevent the gentleman unjustifiably from leaving the jurisdiction of Ghana, even though he has been granted a valid order of a court of competent jurisdiction. It's a charade. So clearly, I find it very contradictory. In one breath, they claim that they stopped him at the airport because he attempted to empty a frozen bank account. in another breath, they claim that they stopped him at the airport because the evidence had presented to the court to show why he had to travel was weak. That's a total contradiction. Well, I don't understand what is happening in this country. You perhaps have to find out from the attorney general whether there is evidence of an attempt to withdraw. And I think it is important for me to find from the media. Have you seen evidence of any check or withdrawal note signed by Hanan and produced before a court? Yes. Is it Sami Rafi? I'm asking you. Yes, I'm asking you. Have you seen evidence of any check? The attorney general has put out in the media the application that he has filed. Have you seen any check signed by Hanan seeking to withdraw money from any account?
Governor, I ask the questions.
Oh yes. I mean, but clearly, these are legitimate issues that ought to be raised. And so clearly, so what I construe from all of this is that it is just a belated false rationalization, belated after the fact false excuse to justify what they did unlawfully. The gentleman is being held in the Yoko custody. First it was BNI, he was held in the BNI cells for about two or three nights, and now he's been transferred to Yoko. He's not been put before any court of law. There has not been any charge against him. All the allegations being made, violation of or attempt to breach a freezing order. There has never been any charge against him. Have you seen any charge sheet? There has not been any charge filed against him, and he's just being held unlawfully.
Governor, your statements seem to go very hard on the Attorney General, and it portrays him as someone who is peddling untruth about your client. Is that a picture?
No, I have not gone hard on him. If indeed there's any person who has gone hard on anybody, it is the Attorney General who held a press conference to malign my client at law and still continues to release press statements tarnishing his image. You remember that the genesis of all this matter was when the Attorney General held a press conference subjecting our clients to ridicule in the eyes of the whole world, disparaging him as one who has stolen money and what have you, even before he had filed the charge sheet. And he continues to do the same thing. He has come up with another press statement making all kinds of wild allegations against my client. How does producing a ruling of a court stating that there is no freezing order in place to a bank amounts to an attempt to force a withdrawal? The question you have to ask is that is there any valid freezing order in place at all? And if so, when was that freezing order given? There is none at all. The client, Hanan, has not signed any check whatsoever attempting to withdraw money. At the time he was arrested, did they see any money on him as having been withdrawn from that bank account? Have they disclosed to the public any money that he has withdrawn from the bank account? No, there's nothing. And all this, I think that I wonder why the Attorney General, with all respect, will waste enormous time and public resources in defending this false step. It is clearly an unlawful step that was backed on by the BNI, Yoku, and DG. And I think they just have to accept it as simple as that. Rather than this ex post facto rationalization and after the fact justification and saying that it's because of this and that. If indeed the gentleman has committed an offense, bring him before a court of law.
Governor,
he has not been brought before any court of law.
As a lawyer for Hanan, one of the ultimate aim is to get him his freedom. But you have said in your statement, which is the last paragraph, and I read, it says, if the Attorney General, Iyoko and BNI will not release our client in spite of the false charges against him, he has expressed his resolve to remain in custody until the court and the only institution he places his faith in upholds his fundamental human rights. We were told a few days ago that he was supposed to travel to the UK or somewhere for medical checkup. But if he says he will still remain in custody, what happens to his medical checkup?
You should ask me. Am I the one, with all respect, that you should ask? I think that you should ask the Attorney General, because they have his passport. They have seized his passport from him. He's been arrested, or his passport and the traveling documents have been taken from him. So that's a question that I think you ought to pose to the Attorney General. And apart from that, it is important to state that this practice of banding people up and throwing them in custody and all that without any basis at all must stop in this country. It has been going on for so long. Hanan has been in custody for a period of over 40 days, in fact close to 50 days in all, since the Attorney General had this press conference. After the press conference, he was arrested and put in BNI custody for over 3 weeks. Eventually released bail on some outrageous, unreasonable terms, and again thrown back into custody because he couldn't satisfy the bail terms. And then later on, when the withdrawal of the prosecution was made, he was again arrested and put back in Yoko custody. And then we went to court seeking an order for leave for him to seek medical care out of the country. Both parties argued. The Republic, through the Deputy Attorney General, argued, and the application was given. They still found a way of subverting the order by arresting him at the airport and putting him in custody. So what is it? Is this something that they seek from him that he's not giving to them? I wonder. Is it that they are making some demands of him that he's not giving to them? I wonder. Or maybe there's something personal between Raymond Acha, a Yoko director, and him. What is it? So my client, I hold his instructions. I act on it according to his instructions, and he says that he's tired. And indeed, he is not in a position to fulfill the conditions imposed by Yoko. And they ought to release him because he has not committed any offense at all. What is the basis for imposing?
If he says he's not in a condition...
No, the question I'm asking is, what is the basis for imposing bail in the sum of 5 million Ghana cedis with 2 sureties to be justified? An offense that they claim he did not succeed in committing.
Is it that he's unable to...
He's unable to satisfy the terms.
Is it that he's unable to satisfy it?
Yes, absolutely, he's unable to satisfy the terms, and he insists that the right thing must be done. He insists that Yoko, Attorney General, and the BNI will have to release him. Otherwise,